So for our bonus today, I'm going to read a Twitter thread by Thaddeus Russell, who is an author and historian who I follow and like, who does the whole renegade idea that we talked about on the show. So if you're listening to this, you probably listened to the show. So,
or maybe not.
Maybe not. Maybe you just sign up on our Patreon just to listen to the bonuses. That would be cool. You can do that.
You know?
Yeah. All right. Well, this is our bonus. And so I'm going to read a thread that he wrote and then discuss it. So, according to official U.S. government statements, the U.S. began giving economic and military assistance to the Mujahideen, including men who would become leaders of the Taliban and Al-Qaeda only after the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan in 1979. So the U.S. is saying that they didn't start funding these people until after the Soviet Union invaded Afghanistan. It is still the position of the government and proponents of the war on terror that the assistance to the Mujahideen was intended to help the Afghan people defend themselves against the communist invaders. However, in his memoir, former CIA Director Robert Gates writes that the U.S. intelligence service actually began to give aid to the Mujahideen guerrillas in Afghanistan not after the Soviet invasion, but 6 months before it. Former National Security Advisor Brzezinski confirmed this in a 1998 interview. According to the official version of history, Brzezinski said, CIA aid to the Mujahideen began during 1980, that is to say, after the Soviet army invaded Afghanistan on December 24th, 1979. But the reality, closely guarded until now, is completely otherwise. Indeed, it was July 3rd, 1979, that President Carter signed the first directive for secret aid to the opponents of the pro-Soviet regime in Kabul. And that very day, I wrote a note to the president in which I explained to him that, in my opinion, this aid was going to induce a Soviet military intervention. When asked whether he regretted these actions, Brzezinski replied, "Regret what? That secret operation was an excellent idea. It had the effect of drawing the Russians into the Afghan trap. And you want me to regret it?" The day the Soviets officially crossed the border, I wrote to President Carter, essentially, "We now have the opportunity of giving the USSR its Vietnam War." A reporter asked Brzezinski if he regretted supporting Islamic fundamentalists who had given arms and advice to future terrorists, and Brzezinski replied, "What is more important in world history, the Taliban or the collapse of the Soviet Empire? Some agitated Muslims or the liberation of Central Europe and the end of the Cold War?"
I mean, woo, USSR is gone, but religious tension ain't.
And we were involved then. I mean, we're still involved. We have been involved since then.
Hold on.
You and I. No. Do you remember in 1979, July 3rd, 1979, you and me, we both started this.
Just because, look.
I like how now you say, "Who's this we?" You try and trap me into accepting that I'm part of...
Go trap yourself, Anthony. You think everything's a trap. No.
Everything's a trap.
Trying to make me look silly. Yeah. No. So this is terrible, though. This is not good. Yeah. This is very unfortunate. So, but isn't this also, this is what I'm saying, area of influence?
Yeah.
How is it that certain people can make decisions with such crazy ramifications? Like, I'm wondering, is there a way, like, maybe this is what we need to do? You know how they have those, like, shock collars for dogs? Yeah. So if they go past the fence, it goes, and then if they go further, it goes, bloop. Mm-hmm. We need to do this to every human being.
A shock collar.
Shock collar for every human being.
You sound like my grandfather.
So every human being. But here's the deal, is that it's not just like where you can walk in proximity. Yeah. Or actually, that's what it is. And then there's no communication allowed outside of your hub. It is your hub and your hub alone, and you never know what's going on with him.
Given some of the stuff in the infrastructure bill that passed, I think we're on track.
Are we close?
Yeah, I think so.
It's going to be happy day. My, oh my. It's going to be terrific because if you have the shock collar, you don't have to worry about more than like what? How far should we allow everyone to go? Like a few blocks? A mile? Yeah. Let's say 5 miles. And then every 5 miles, We just put up into their compound wall.
Right. I
And you
think
don't
they're
leave-
trying to do this in Australia.
And you don't leave. You just
Yeah.
stay there.
Yeah.
But then also that means like the person next door, like it's no problem because they're on the other side of the wall. I don't know what's going on with them. And we do this for the entire world.
Yeah.
And then we just need like one person to like have like keys to the main room to watch everyone doing everything. Just the one person though, to make sure that no one tries to like go
One
to
person
another
has to
compound.
watch everybody doing everything.
Oh, maybe. Well, because if it's more than one person, it's easier for there to be
Do
corruption.
you think you can watch everybody doing everything?
If I have a lot of cameras and some computers helping me, maybe.
But how many eyes
Maybe
do you have?
we
How
just
many
need
brain? How
AI.
much
This is
attention
what
do
we
you
need.
have?
This is what we need AI for.
Yeah,
just to keep
you're
everyone
right.
in their compound.
Yeah, yeah,
and
yeah.
then we can't. Then what I'm saying is like if someone goes crazy, they can't hurt anyone more than 5 miles around them.
Yeah.
This
is great.
This is
Solid
the solution.
gold.
This is the
Beautiful.
solution. This is the solution, okay? I just laid it out and you just don't like it, but it's inevitable. But so wait, so if they sponsored it, so they're saying though, what the gist of it that I'm getting is that by giving this weaponry, it basically provoked, right? It increased the attention on them.
On who?
On the folks in Afghanistan.
Right. So the folks in Afghanistan were anti-Soviet Union.
Right,
So we funded
anti-commie.
them. Right.
Yeah. Like that's the only thing that matters. That's so funny. Like it's just like only the government type. Like,
Yeah.
because like what if everyone was communist, but they were like pacifist communist, right? Like, well,
I don't think
we're
that's
totalitarian, but we're not going to hurt you.
Well, then
We're just
you're
gonna
bad
hug you to death.
totalitarians.
I'm sorry.
You're bad totalitarians. I don't think it's going to
Or
work.
maybe you're a great You got to expand your definition of totalitarian, man.
What's my definition of totalitarian?
Like meanie and aggressive.
Meanie. I bet.
Yeah,
I
you're
bet they
being
poke
meanie
people
about
right in
it.
the belly button all the time.
You know what? That's how they get to you. Because then they have these rules like no physical violence, man, and they just keep taking turns poking you in the belly button until you get so irritated, like I can't take it anymore, and then you go
and
to the
then right in the
gulag.
gulag.
So as long as you're like,
That's what the Soviet Union was. It was just poking people in the belly button, and then people wound up in the gulag.
They tried that first. And they're like, man, people can take a lot of this before they snap.
Right. We're gonna have to start starving them to death.
Yeah, we gotta speed the process along.
How long does it take to starve to death? A while.
It takes a long time.
I think I would snap from getting poked in the belly button before I would starve to death.
Really?
I think so.
I don't know, man. It's not that like. I would rather. I don't know. Now I gotta think about it. Which one's worse?
Because it would take you like weeks to starve to death.
Yeah, it would.
Think about getting poked in the belly button for weeks. You'd lose your shit after like 3 minutes.
This might be.
Well,
This
I think we solved it. I think that's our answer. So we started with this crazy, heavy conspiracy, and we end with belly button pokes. There we go. There's your bonus.
So